Welcome, folks, to tonight's Gamecity XP Boost. Tonight, it's all about TikTok for indie devs. Getting exposure for your game is a big challenge. And TikTok as a platform has become sort of a silver bullet for some game developers. So every video posted there has a real chance to get more interactions with your content than your account has followers. And together with 3 experts on our panel, we will discuss what makes a great performing video on TikTok, what is special about the platform to get more interactions, and what did our experts experience when they use TikTok to promote their games. And as Gamecity Hamburg, we are not only doing events, but we are also here in Hamburg to support the local games industry. So what we do is also our prototype funding program, where we can support game developers with up to 120K of budget to develop their games. We also are running an incubation program, and we're doing sort of like in real life meetups and networking events. So I would like to draw your attention to one event we will have a month away from now. And this will be our long-running event series, the Gamecity Treff. And this time on October 28, we invite you over to Hamburg, to the location Grüner Jäger, to meet up with the local games industry in Hamburg. Maybe you already are working in the industry, or you would like to get a job in the industry, would get in contact with the people working and making games. So this is your chance. And the whole event of us is scheduled around a new convention we will have in Hamburg. So from October 28th to October 30th, we will have a trade fair in the center of Hamburg, and the organizers are expecting somewhat around like 20,000 visitors in the first Polaris, and it's all about like showcasing games. There is lots of events for esport, also like cosplay, retro arcades, and lots of stuff to really spend a good time there. And please feel invited to also come over and sign up for our Gamecity Treff. So before we will jump right into the discussion and look into what makes TikTok great to showcasing your own game, I would like to hand over to my colleague Helen, who will bring everybody on the same page, like about the basics of TikTok.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Right, just in case you haven't spent hours upon hours on TikTok yet, I just want to give you a quick overview on the app, like what it looks like and what different features there are included. First up, you need to know TikTok is a video-only platform, and you can upload videos up to 10 minutes long right now. On the right-hand side, you see a screenshot from my very own TikTok For You page, which is a word you might hear a lot today, For You page. It's the starting point whenever you open up TikTok. You are greeted by a video, which is chosen for you by the algorithm, and it starts playing automatically. So in my case, it was this wonderful video of a black cat climbing out of a hobbit hole. Right, so the For You page is always where you start, and it offers loads of possibilities. So first up, you can just keep on swiping. There will always be new videos available to you. Just by flicking down the app, you will get to those videos. But you can also look up certain videos. If you're looking for something specific, you can use the looking glass in the upper right corner right there. Below that, on the right-hand side, you see different information and interaction opportunities for the video. So first up, you see like who's the video from, and just by this little icon, in this case, the yellow one with the black cat, you've got this plus icon below that, so you can easily recognize, are you following this account or not? I'm not following them, so I could rectify that by simply clicking on this little plus. Just below that, I can also like the video. It has 404K likes, so it's pretty popular right now. But I can also dive into the comment section right below that. The comment section just opens up whenever you click on this little icon, and it takes up about 2/3 of the screen while the video will continue to play in the background. But I can also bookmark this video just to save it for later, or just below that, I could also send the video to someone, either someone I'm connected with in the app, or someone from my contacts, or in a different app. And just in the right-hand bottom, you see another little icon. This one displays which sound is used in the TikTok video. You've got different options. You can either create an original sound. For example, you record a video and just like talk about something in that video itself. And the sound that would be in that video would then become an original sound and could also be used by other users on the platform. But you can also edit your own video and record another voiceover. That would also be an original sound. Or you've got a different opportunity. You can also use sounds created by other users who have uploaded videos. So just by clicking on that little icon right there, I could be taken to another page in the app and see what other videos have been created with that sound. And I could also use it for my own video. Also available are just like music pieces and stuff that have been uploaded into the app already. So if we take a look to the left side of the bottom screen, we also see a video description. In this case, it's like loads of hashtags to improve discoverability, but you can also write a lengthy text about the video just to explain it a bit further. And above that, you can also see the account name. So we are on the For You page, but there's also a different page, which is the following page. So if you redirect your eyes to the top of the screen once again, you see on the left side, there's the Following tab. And there would be all kinds of videos posted by creators that I follow. So the For You page is a mix of videos by creators I follow, but also loads of creators I've never seen or interacted with before, just videos chosen by the algorithm. The videos are also not in chronological order, but if you switch into the Following tab, those are just videos by creators you follow, and they are in the chronological order then. And just on the left-hand side, you have a different icon. This is the Live tab, so people can also live stream on TikTok, and if you click on that, you would get right to those videos. So, and just once again, down below, we've got some more options, which is just like our home base where we start out, which is where you can get into the Following feed or the For You page. But we also have like the Friends tab. There are videos by people I follow and who follow me as well. So like the mutuals option. And right in the middle, you've got like the most important button, perhaps, which is the Create a TikTok button. So this is where I could also create a TikTok and use filters and sounds and all the fun stuff that TikTok has to offer. And just to the right of that, there is my inbox. I just have one notification, but I'm sure like our wonderful experts have way more on their accounts. There's like all sorts of notification, who has commented on your video, who has liked a comment you made, who has liked your video and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's what you need to know about TikTok, and or at least what I can tell you about TikTok, but that's like not even half of it. So there's way more that our experts know. So we've invited the wonderful Alex, who is part of TikTok Germany. We've got also two wonderful indie developers who have dabbled with TikTok and who will share their experience with us today. Katrin from Spellgarden Games and also Tobias from Moon Eye Studios. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let me add one more thing. I see that it already is working out, but we are doing this as a live event because we would like you to also ask your questions. So feel free to post your questions in the YouTube chat and we will hand it over to our panel. Also from my side, great that you are here. And Alex, yeah, so maybe you would like to start to tell us a little bit what you do and what it has to do with TikTok.
Sure. Yeah, so hello, everyone. First of all, thank you for inviting, of course, and special thank you to Helen for awesome overview. I think it was one of the best overviews I've ever seen. We should invite you to our TikTok meetings as well. It was like straight to the point, everything you need to know. It was really great. But yeah, so I'm Alexander, and I'm a client solutions manager at TikTok Global Gaming, which means that basically my primary focus is on gaming advertisers and making sure that our gaming clients are growing on TikTok, and we find the right strategy for them. In terms of campaign setup, in terms of the strategy, how to, for example, depending on their goals, how to acquire users into the game, how to make sure that all the gaming relevant KPIs are achieved. So it can be very complex, very interesting, very exciting, because as you all might know, like different gaming genres require different strategies and also different KPIs. And this is basically one of the biggest parts of my job, to make sure that we have this right mix of actions. Maybe also just to clarify that I personally focus more on paid traffic. So when it comes to basically TikTok Ads Manager and paid campaigns, but of course I also consider organic part, and we also discuss it, of course. And this is basically ideally, or in ideal world, like a basis for well-performing paid campaigns as well. So we always recommend like to have a perfect balance of both organic and paid campaigns. And yeah, that's why, like I already said, the perfect strategy or finding the perfect strategy, this is like the biggest part of my job. Maybe also just a quick overview of my background, because I'm not new to gaming and to working with different platforms. Before joining TikTok, I also worked at InnoGames. It's one of the biggest, or one of the most famous developers in Germany. And I worked with, or actually I worked acquiring users for Forge of Empires. So it's like a city building strategy in Germany, quite famous and already quite old, but still very successful. So for me, it's like a perfect combination of experience. I'm coming from demand side, from somewhere where I had to make sure that different platforms are working for the game and we're achieving all the targets and KPIs. And now I'm like on a different side, where with all my background from demand side, I'm trying to make sure that different genres and different games are successful on TikTok. Yeah, I guess that's my intro.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Great to have you here. Katrin, would you mind take it away and tell us more about you and Spellgarden Games?
Yes, sure. Hi, my name is Katrin. I am the programmer and one of the co-founders of Spellgarden Games. And before founding Spellgarden Games, I worked as an employee in the games industry already for 5 years. And then last year, together with 3 of my former co-workers, I founded Spellgarden Games to make some cozy and wholesome games. Also before that, I did a little bit of YouTube. I was one of the hosts for a YouTube channel for Funk that was called So Many Tabs. And now we're doing our own indie games full time. And we're working on a cozy, witchy farming game currently that got funded by the MFG in Baden-Württemberg last year. And if everything goes well, we will do the production next year. And yeah, since the start of that, we tried to show it around on social media, and it worked very good on TikTok. We hope to spark some interest, and it worked. Right now we have around 35,000 followers on TikTok, and hopefully it will get more. It's very fun to try out everything, and I'm excited to be here and talk to you about it today.
Yeah, thank you. Full disclosure, Spellgarden Games was one of the very first indie games I saw on TikTok, and so I'm very glad to have you here. Last but not least, we also have Tobias with us. Could you introduce yourself and Moon Eye Studios?
Yes, sure. So yeah, I'm Tobias, one of the founders of Moon Eye. We're a small indie developer and recently also publisher from Hamburg. And yeah, I handle mostly programming, story, and marketing. And as part of that, also all the social media channels and stuff like that. And yeah, we started using TikTok about 2 years ago for promoting our games and just sharing content, and also as an ad channel. And yeah, it very quickly became one of the biggest ones for us, just because the engagement and the KPIs were a lot better than a lot of the other platforms. So yeah, we focused a lot of energy on TikTok, and yeah, it's working quite well as well.
That's good to hear. I feel like we've got so much expertise. I don't know how to fit it in 1 hour and 15 minutes from now on, but we will do our best. Something many of you might not remember is that TikTok actually started out as Musical.ly and used to have a very young user base. But now, I mean, Alex, you are the client solution manager for TikTok Global Gaming. So there's definitely quite a shift. And maybe could you tell us, like, when did TikTok start to pay close attention to like the games market, and what role do games play in TikTok strategy like right now?
Yeah, so first of all, TikTok is, or at least how we are trying to position ourselves, is not just social media, it's entertainment platform. And already coming from this positioning as an entertainment platform, it's kind of straightforward and obvious that gaming is part of it, because gaming is also all about entertainment. But to answer your question, I think it's a very organic development when the idea of building a platform where users or people are supposed to entertain themselves and to consume content or to find out something new about something that they're interested in. And for example, for gamers to see the new games or to see what's happening in their favorite game, or for someone who's interested in traveling to see more about traveling, or even for someone who is interested in reading books to find out more about books or something like that. That's kind of organic, and I don't think there is something that was pushed specifically like to make it happen. It's just an obvious organic development as an entertainment platform, and gaming is obviously a huge part of entertainment. And plus, as you might know, like the biggest part of TikTok success is actually creators and the people who are showing what they're doing. And since TikTok has a huge, unique audience of very creative people who are constantly doing something, experimenting with something, it's also kind of obvious that more and more gamers are part of TikTok's audience. And as a result, it's like, you know, a natural evolution that gaming is becoming bigger and bigger on TikTok as well. Yeah, I think just to recap my answer, is basically a natural organic evolution as an entertainment platform.
Makes perfect sense to me. You've already like brushed the topic of user base and audience. Could you maybe just tell us a bit more in general about TikTok's user base, like who is on TikTok and what are they interested in?
So just to make clear, we don't actually disclose any audience related data without any NDAs or signed papers. That's why I'm a bit restricted here. It's not like I don't know or don't want to share with you. And once you actually start any campaigns on TikTok or user acquisition campaigns or paid traffic, you will like automatically get access to more data. So it's there and it's available for everyone who is interested. But in terms of this panel, I can share that TikTok's audience is quite diverse, and the stereotypes that you hear that it's like, I don't know, a teenage dance app, it's just not true and not the case anymore. It's very diverse. It's basically suitable for different verticals, including gaming, different game genres. And right now, I think it's the moment when TikTok has a really unique audience. I can even share with you when we are checking, for example, duplicating of audience comparing to other platforms or social medias. We have sometimes comparing with some specific social networks, like 50% unduplicated users. So this means that TikTok has a really unique audience, basically suitable for all types of industries or verticals, including gaming in this case.
Tobias, you already mentioned it was like 2 years ago when you started to bring in content to TikTok. So you should have quite a comparison, like in using the different social media channels and platforms. Do you see something unique when you look at the users you experience at TikTok?
Not anything specific to the users, I would say. I can't think of any super unique things there. One unique thing that we noticed at the very beginning, like for the first couple of months, we didn't do any paid content. We just shared some stuff and just some videos and clips that we already had. We posted on TikTok, and to just learn what this is and how this works, basically. And the cool thing was that on other social media, once you post a video, it's basically dead after a day. And if someone didn't see your tweet the next day, then no one will ever see it. On TikTok, we still get likes and comments on videos that are a couple of months old. So for some reason, content lives longer on TikTok. That was one of the things that we noticed first, and was the reason that we started to use it more often, because we never were really able to spend too much time on it and post videos every day, which is ideal, of course. But we still felt that on TikTok, posting videos every now and then still work better than on the other platforms. So that was the first thing that stuck out to us, basically. But for the audience itself, I'd say they are probably similar people.
Mm-hmm. Katrin, when did you start bringing content to TikTok, and did you then at any point did a decision like, okay, we will focus more on TikTok and doing other platforms less, or how is the situation at Spellgarden at the moment?
Yeah, we started the TikTok account last year in October, so it's around a year old by now, and that was basically 2 months after we decided to start Spellgarden Games. So it's not like we posted a lot on other platforms and then started to go to TikTok. It was one of the first platforms that we were on. We have an Instagram account that we posted something on, and then decided to leave it be because it's not really working. At some point, we just reposted our TikToks there, and that worked kind of, but then it didn't really make sense. I think for us, it's thinking about who do I want to reach. So we have, for example, another Twitter account that we use, but post different things on that are more targeted towards other game developers, for example, or press or publishers, because this is a good place to get in contact with these people. And then on TikTok, we are more focused on really reaching the audience directly.
Yes, that's definitely a good point. And also we realize when we're talking with other like indie developers, and also, as you mentioned, publishers, so often it is mentioned, okay, please do it on Twitter, and then I can follow it. But really also Tobias mentioned it, like this power of bringing content over a longer period to like interested users. So that's obviously for everybody always the question, like, what is the ideal content? So did you figure out any kind of content that you tried out which tend to work better than other you did? Have you any insights like from your perspectives as indie devs?
Yeah, honestly, sometimes it just feels very random. And some days I really think this is a great video, this is going to perform so well, people are going to love it, and then it gets like 5 views, and I'm very sad about it. And then other days I make a video just showing the screen like, look, this is funny, right? And then it gets thousands of views. But generally, I think it mostly helps if it's not that staged, if it's more authentic and just, I show you this funny thing or this interesting thing about the company, or just be a person, right? Because people on TikTok want to see other people. Showing my face always works great, especially because of the ears and the red hat, because I think people, they have the attention span of a goldfish, people on TikTok, right? So we scroll and we scroll and we scroll, and then at some point we see something that is a little bit interesting to watch it more than 2 seconds. And having something bright helps people to keep the people for the 2 seconds, and then hopefully your content is interesting enough that people stay for 30 seconds or something like that.
And
yeah, I can, if I may, I can only confirm actually, and also maybe add a very concrete example from my experience. Even for paid traffic and for paid campaigns, very often we have cases where advertisers just do like a short video at a workplace, like filming how they're playing or how they're discussing a game with their colleagues, just during the coffee break or something like that, even without showing game itself, just discussing it in a very casual environment in the office or the workspace. And those creatives are performing better compared to like super polished creatives from creative agencies or production pipelines or whatever, So this is just to confirm that like TikTok native works better for both paid and organic. And yeah, in general, what you mentioned, like authenticity and like something that is close to real life, because you also mentioned before Instagram, for example, what we noticed, it's like very often too beautiful or too unnatural or like too far from real life, and the TikTok, it's very real. It's like in a moment, and it's this is what actually works for both organic and paid campaigns. And also, if I may, just to elaborate a bit more on the audience uniqueness, because Tobias mentioned that basically the users are the same. I didn't mention that they're supposed to be like different audiences completely or different users, but still what we see in our numbers and also how different organic accounts are developing, it's quite obvious that the engagement, for example, is quite different. And I think you also mentioned it, that also kind of proves that audience at TikTok, of course, there are overlaps, like there are users who are using both TikTok, Instagram, or whatever. But for some reason, TikTok is this environment or entertainment platform where users engage more, or where more, I don't know, creative users or more users who are really interested in what you are doing, or they are following you. So that was my idea about uniqueness. And I'm not saying, of course, that TikTok has like 100% unique audience.
So when I look into the accounts I'm following, so there are really like sometimes videos going very much in detail of the production process of video games. So Tobias, do you have like any sort of like idea how deep you dive into like the whole development process, or is it more like staying on the relatable stuff, like okay, somebody's doing graphics, or how deep into the production process do you look into your videos?
You mean just for the general posts, how much do we show, or what? Well, we don't do that many posts of just us in the office, like Spellgarden does, for example, like Katrin does, which is something that we want to change, because we also feel like these work way better than just a clip of the game. But also it's a lot more work, of course. But yeah, we definitely want to just try and show more of the work in progress scenes and stuff like that, because I also feel like these kind of content and these kind of posts tend to get a lot more attention and just general likes and comments and everything, because people want to feel like they see stuff that they don't usually see. Also, probably going into what Katrin said earlier about the short attention span, because if you just, the normal day on TikTok is basically just swipe. Every video just gets a second or so of your attention. And if it's just a clip of a game that you maybe already saw, it's nothing new. But if you see someone working on a game, that might be something that's immediately interesting to you, and you stop for a second and watch it. So yeah, ideally, probably you show a lot of very different, very immediately, obviously different aspects of game development, so that it doesn't look like every day you're just showing the screen with some different code on it, but something bright and colorful and different every day. But yeah, that also takes a lot of time. So we don't usually do that often. But maybe Katrin can tell a bit more about how they do it.
Yeah, one of our most of the best posts we ever had was just me filming the screen of my coworker making art, and people commented so much. Either they wanted to be me watching the art being made, or they wanted to be her making the art. So yeah, something relatable is always very nice. And then also we try to show some game development, especially art, because that's visual, everyone can understand it. We don't show, I don't think I've ever shown any code, because this is something that game developers are interested in that might work on TikTok, but it's not the audience that we want to reach. I always try to think, what would a person like me, if I wouldn't be a programmer, obviously I'm interested in code, but if I wasn't a programmer, what would I want to see of games? And that's not code, that's something beautiful or funny of the game. I want to have a little bit of backstory, but not the whole thing.
And one question out of our chat, because like there was already praise for the videos of Katrin and Spellgarden, and the question was, which programs does Katrin use to make and edit her videos? So it's really like, what kind of tools are you using?
I mostly use the TikTok editor that is in the app. I think, I don't know, but I think maybe the algorithm favors that. I feel it might be, but maybe not. I don't know. The algorithm is mystery. But whenever I made a very nice video outside of TikTok, it flopped completely. I tried in the beginning to make some very cool videos and edit them on my computer, but it didn't work at all. So I wouldn't recommend that. Don't do it. Just make it in the app. It's the best thing.
Just to jump onto that, could you also tell us a bit about your setup? Like, do you record with your headphones for a microphone, or just your smartphone? What do you do?
No, yeah, it's really just the phone, nothing else. I do have a tripod, and that's it. I don't have a microphone. I heard it might be a good idea to have a microphone that you can, like a tiny one that you can hold to have better sound quality, but I didn't see that it really mattered. So I just have the phone.
They just look funny, perhaps.
Yeah, they look professional.
Tobias, do you have any kind of special setup, or are you also just using your smartphone?
No, we don't have anything special. I mean, yeah, we just upload clips of the games that we prepared on the PC, or yeah, just film stuff with a phone. Nothing like super professional or anything like that.
There is actually an app I would recommend, CapCut. It's also developed by TikTok's mother company, and it's really efficient. Like it makes life easier, and it has just way more features compared to what you have in TikTok. So if you want to go like next level, or to make something a bit more advanced, there is an app, and it's like very TikTok native. And yeah, why not try something different?
That's good to know. I think I have that on my phone, but I didn't know that it was like also from ByteDance. Interesting.
And it's very easy like to use. You can just, I mean, there are basically two ways. You can either edit everything manually, like with lots of effects, but you can also choose like auto something, and then it will generate like several scenarios, several videos or something like that. And then you just choose which music or which order or something like that. It's quite nice, actually.
Speaking of generated music and order and stuff like that, TikTok is also quite famous for the many trends and trending music that it made famous and stuff like that. Is that anything you really jump into, Katrin? Like, do you utilize many trending sounds, memes and stuff like that? And if yes, like, what do you think? Like, how fast do you have to be? Like, does it have to be same day, or can you be a bit more chill about it?
So I really like to do trends sometimes. I think it's just so much fun. It's not that it's every time a hit and it gets a lot of views. Sometimes it's just a fun thing to do. And I just really enjoy trying it out. I don't think, Tobias, you don't really do trends, right?
Not really, but that's also something that we want to change, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so, especially in the beginning, I thought this is really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing in the beginning, especially if you just started up your game company and you think, okay, there are like all of these cool game developer people, they are all way cooler than I am, and now I'm doing this embarrassing trend and they're going to think she's completely insane. But honestly, if it doesn't work, nobody's going to see the video, right? 300 people maximum are going to see the video if it's very cringe and nobody wants to see it, and then it's fine. And if it's going to work, then what are these cool game developer people are going to say, right? So, and it worked.
That's a great approach to life. I have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I think you mostly, if you are fast, it's very good, and it can help really get engagement on your side. And if you're not fast, it's just fun.
Tobias, something not all of our audience might know is that you did the Colors of Indie contest a couple of months ago on TikTok. Indie devs could enter the contest by just trying out TikTok, uploading a video there and submitting it using your hashtag Colors of Indie Awards. Could you tell us a bit more about it? Like, what were your experiences? Like, who won? What came of it?
Well, who won? It's not too far from here. Katrin won with Spellgarden with their game Ritual of Raven. So yeah, that's when we first got to know each other, which was really cool. And yeah, it was a really cool experience. We never did anything like that before, just host an award or anything. And it was just a random idea of something small we could do to support some indie teams around the world without actually signing a publishing agreement or anything like that. Just a small, quick little thing to support some indie devs. And yeah, we chose TikTok as the platform to do it on, just because, like I said, for us, it quickly became one of the most important platforms. And I think a lot of developers, when I talk to them, still are surprised by that, or always just say, never really tried TikTok. I have to try it someday. And we wanted to give them some kind of incentive to do it now. Just create an account, post something, and see how it goes. And yeah, the feedback we got from that was really great as well. A lot of developers really started an account and really started posting just because of that, and now got back to us with their first experiences. And not all of them are super famous, of course, but at least yeah, they too see the advantages of it and try out different things. And yeah, it was just overall a really cool experience.
Is it something you planning on doing like on a regular basis every year or every quarter?
I think probably every year, yeah. We weren't sure at first if this is really something that we can do every year and if there's enough people joining and stuff like that. But I think after the first round, we definitely want to do it again.
It sounds really cool. I mean, why not? It can grow into something, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We just got a comment in the chat. Thank you for hosting the contest! Exclamation mark and rainbow emoji.
Thank you.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe some more of the contestants are watching. So if so, hi. Alex, right now we have like 2 studios with us who make indie games, like very beautiful indie games, maybe kind of cozy games, I'd even say. But maybe you could give us some insight, like what kind of games generally do well on TikTok, and perhaps also the reason why they do well.
To be honest, really hard to distinguish a specific genre, I would say. But if you are looking like at numbers only, I would say like hyper casual, of course, is like booming, but that's kind of obvious on all platforms, I would say, and in general, because it's like, you know, those games where you just need to quickly tap something and that's it. But yeah, like I said, it's really hard to say that one specific genre or any specific subgenres are doing better on TikTok, or that TikTok is more suitable or relevant for this and this type of games. It's not the case, and it's actually surprising because it's similar for both like hyper casual or indie game or a very, very small studio, and then at the same time for names like, I don't know, Sega or something like that, and still it's working in terms of both like growing the audience and reaching their goals, and even without like considering any paid traffic, like just organically. So as already mentioned also in this panel, there is no golden rule, unfortunately, or guide or standard. It's like Dennis mentioned that it can be a silver bullet, and it's just you know, a question of trying and testing more. And in theory, it can work for any game and any genre, I would say.
So not really about like what content to post, but more about like the whole structure you need to post anything. There's a question out of the chat of a solo developer. If you have any tips of like posting valuable content. So do you do production plans? Are you scanning for trends? So maybe you can share like on which basis you're planning your posts and how you execute them.
So that's for developers, I guess, right? More.
Yeah,
I have
guess,
also some insights from the platform side. I can maybe start. So basically, like I said, there are no golden rules. I mean, but there are, of course, like recommendations or best practices or like our experience, what we see with different advertisers and with different games. And we could actually define some basic pillars, I would say. They are also quite obvious, and I'm sure like a lot of people actually aware of them. But one of the most important, I would say, is consistency, and it's kind of obvious. Because you need to have a plan, and this is also actually something that TikTok can help you also organically. There is a feature where you can also like plan your posts in advance and have like some kind of calendar. This is already very, very helpful. Then, of course, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm saying some cliche things, but be creative. Like TikTok is all about creativity and bringing joy. And what we already discussed under this creativity umbrella, like jumping into trends, also trying something new, experimenting with different approaches, and here it can be like, for example, integrating some real life experiences. Let's say if it's like a car race game, you can film something like in a supermarket with shopping carts, and with voiceover from the game or something like that. Or you can just add some storytelling, like something similar to similar streaming platforms where people just play and explain how they're playing or what they're doing. You can do that also for your TikTok posts. So basically consistency, creativity with like different approaches. And the last one, I would say what also was mentioned here, authenticity, like to make sure that you're doing something that is really unique for TikTok only.
Yeah, we also we have something like a content planner, and we have a meeting every month, and we think about what can we show this month from our game. So for example, right now we are working on the UI for a specific thing. Then what could we show of that would be interesting for the people? And what is important is not what can we show, what we want to show them, but what would they want to see, because those are usually two different things. And then try to sprinkle in some things that are more in the moment and not planned ahead, but just from whenever I see something funny, I try to do something. And to just not try the same thing that didn't work again, because it didn't work. It doesn't matter if I think the video is really cool. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then I try something else. So currently we're really experimenting a lot and try a lot of different things, and try to show a little bit of background information, do some trends, not trends all the time, because that's also boring to watch. Nobody's going to follow you if you just do trends. They also want to get to know you a little bit. So have a little bit of everything, I guess, is what I would recommend.
Also an interesting thought out of our chat, there's a question that TikTok is more often used as kind of a search engine. So are there any tips how to optimize the content for this kind of stuff?
You go first.
So yeah, I guess like most of you maybe heard that there were even like headlines that TikTok is a new Google for Gen Z or something like that. And this is indeed true. When it comes to growing organically and in general growing on TikTok, it's also something that can be and should be used. And in this case, it basically using the right description and hashtags. And then it's also kind of obvious that it can help you, like the same logic as in the search engine, basically. Using the right hashtags and using the right descriptions, you can also use this option, like of the search, also as a way of growing, or as a way of making sure someone who is or who might be interested in your content or in your posts or in your game, in this case, will find you easier. But I wouldn't say that it's like a main channel of growing or something like that, or like a secret of growing on TikTok. It's just one of those small things, or tricks, I would say, that should be kept in mind. And why not? Like think about how you name your posts, or how you describe them, or which hashtags you're using. And yeah, then why not use it?
I feel like it's also changing a little bit, maybe, or maybe this is not news to you. At TikTok, you already knew this ages ago. But to me, it feels like a year ago you could make a 7-second video and it would go viral, and now that's not what happens anymore with 7 seconds video, right? People want to watch a little bit longer form content, not long form content, but 30 seconds maybe, and get some more information. And something to binge watch also, right? There are also now playlists, and you can watch serial content where someone shows 30 days of making a game or something like that.
Yeah, just maybe a small comment. The platform in general is growing, and becoming bigger and bigger. So it's also kind of obvious that lots of things are changing, and maybe not that easy as they used to be. But it doesn't mean that they are less efficient. On the contrary, they're getting actually even more and more efficient, because like the whole audience is getting bigger and bigger. So it's I would say it's a good thing, actually.
Also, I would say Vine didn't die for no reason. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Speaking of other social media platforms, like audience interaction is key if you want to grow. I'm sure we can agree on that. But like when you're interacting with your audiences, Tobias and Katrin, do you notice anything different, like especially in the comment section? Like how are users commenting on your TikToks? How is the interaction going for you? Tobias, maybe you want to take this?
Yeah, maybe there's a difference in just comments on TikTok tend to be just shorter and more out of the moment kind of comments, whereas Facebook or something like that, you sometimes get comments that are really like full sentences and someone thought about this. And on TikTok, it's just, cute. And just, yeah, probably shows the way content is consumed in a more like fast and in the moment kind of way, rather than I'm going to sit down and enjoy this video kind of way. Yeah, so that's probably the main difference, I would say, that I experienced.
So I feel people are a lot nicer on TikTok, a lot nicer
Also true,
on TikTok.
Yes.
And I think probably that's because of the algorithm, because it shows people what they really want to see, and like different from Facebook and Instagram, where it just shows people stuff that makes them angry. So that's what I get the feeling from. So I made YouTube for a while, and people were really not nice there. And on Instagram, they're just, I feel like, very greedy with comments. Even if a video on Instagram got a lot of views, it maybe had 2 comments, when the same video on TikTok had hundreds, and a lot less likes also on Instagram. So in communicating with people, it's a lot better on TikTok, I feel. And also, I really like the feature that you can answer with video, because that also is something that I also think people like to see.
Yeah, or with your existing post, which makes it easier.
I think one of the comments I've seen most often, like especially on the Moon Eye videos, is, what's the name of this game? Like people. I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
always get that,
users.
even though you have it in like
Yeah.
text and bold in the video, in the description, and in the hashtag, people still ask, "What is this?" Yeah.
And is
Maybe
it free? And is it on mobile?
Oh yeah,
And
true.
when is it going to come out?
Yep, very true.
Always the same.
Holy trifecta. We've got another question from the audience. One viewer asked, their English is not the best, and would it be better to focus on a smaller German market or to use English with less quality but try to reach more people overall? Alex, I mean, maybe you could give us some insight on that.
To be honest, I didn't get who's
Oh,
English.
sorry.
What,
they say their English is not the best, and so they were wondering, should they just speak
okay.
German and so reach less people
Mhm.
perhaps, or try with less, with not that good English?
Yeah, then I would recommend to rather focus on German audience first. And then once you see already some success cases and at least some growth trends, you can try implementing English content as well. Maybe, not maybe, actually, I would recommend like to have a separate account for like another audience or in other markets, and there you can start playing around with English speaking videos. And TikTok is actually like we discussed already, is kind of fast food consumption mode in many cases. So I really doubt that someone will be like on Facebook or any other platforms analyzing or evaluating your English skills or something like that. So it's all about like getting that content entertaining or finding what you were looking for. So yeah, I would definitely recommend to start with German, because it's the area where they are stronger and where they can grow faster and organically faster. And then, or maybe actually at the same time, if they have capacity, they can start like another account with English content. Maybe it will be slightly worse in terms of quality, but for TikTok, it doesn't actually necessarily mean that it will perform worse. So it's, yeah, again, it's a question of trying and testing. But yeah, to summarize, I don't really see English skills as a blocker to growing on TikTok.
I'd also like to add that people love to find out where you're from. Whenever someone figures out she's from Germany, then the comments just freak out. So this is also very good for getting people to comment. So maybe that's even a plus.
Yeah, true.
Also, like just from a user perspective, if you're shy about just about speaking English at the moment, TikTok also has like those great robot voices. Like you can just input text, which you might just run through a text checking machine beforehand, and then they read it out. And like, I mean, just look at this whole genre of Reddit posts that are read by some robot voice, and people are doing platforming in the background, and those get like crazy hits. So don't let that stop you. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Helen already told me about this Reddit rabbit hole on TikTok, but I haven't been there. So yeah, I need to follow some more accounts here. So I wanted to Tobias and Katrin, obviously there is this interaction on the platform itself, like comments and likes and so on. But do you have a chance or data, like really how good it converts? Like if you plan to bring them over, for example, to a Steam page or to whatever page you would like to bring the users over, do you have like any idea how good the conversion is? Also, maybe in comparison to other platforms you're using?
Yeah, I mean, for ads, like I said earlier, it's converting really well for us. And the cost per click and whatever metric you're measuring or aiming for is either lower or at least in the same range than other platforms, but mostly it's lower. So that's good, and that's bringing a lot of people to like Steam pages or whatever. Sadly, there is not an option to include links in normal posts or comments or something like that. So that's a little harder than on other platforms with just normal unpaid posts. But yeah, for paid ones, it's working really well.
Yeah, we don't have a Steam page for the game yet. We're currently trying to get people on our Discord server. to have them easier on reach, because obviously we have a lot of followers, but they don't see the videos usually. So usually just a very small percentage of people that followed us see the videos. So it's good to have them somewhere else. But that's, yeah, I can agree. It's very difficult. Also, I think TikTok really doesn't want you to get people out of the app. Saying the link is in the bio is something that I try to avoid. Whenever someone asks in the comments, I'm like, go to the place where the thing is that you can click and then go there to find it, because I already had it that they got blocked, and you can unblock them somewhere else, but they don't show you that the comments are blocked when you say the link is in the bio. So it's difficult to do that.
And what kind of advertising formats did you try out with Moon Eye?
There are a couple of different goals you can set for a campaign. We mostly either did engagement, which will show like a follow button on the bottom of the ad, or just the traffic ones for where there's a link with a button to Steam. And yeah, those work really well. I think that's basically the main things that we do with these two. There are more that we tried as well, but just getting people to the Steam page, or getting people to engage with the post and follow the account are the main goals for most indie devs, probably.
I could maybe also add here one recommendation, or one of the best practices when it comes to especially like small studios, for example, and when you already have like in case of Moon Eye, when you already have like a quite solid organic account. It makes sense at least to try so-called Spark ads. It's basically like, yeah. So you've tried them, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is it works like magic, because I think it's quite unique when it comes to advertising formats, especially on such platforms. And basically the idea behind this format is that it looks very native. It doesn't look like it's not that obvious that it's an ad. It's very native, and at the same time, you don't really need to spend time thinking, okay, which video or which creative to use. You just automatically link your organic account with your ads manager, and you automatically just choose the post that you think should perform as an ad as well. And yeah, it's actually kind of win-win situation, because it's not just for whatever target you have for advertising, but it's also kind of boosting your organic at the same time as well. So this is yeah, and it doesn't require like high budgets or something like that. You can start really small and still achieve something. So this is like a go-to product, especially for indie developers. That would be like my recommendation. If not number one, then one of the top recommendations, I would say, for indie developers.
Yeah, also what Alex said about the budget, I always tell people, just try and put like 50 euros in a post. You don't have to have hundreds or thousands of euros as a marketing budget. We also started just some popular video post that we did. We just put, I don't know, 50 euros or something in, and then suddenly that got 10,000 more views.
Yeah.
So just tiny small budgets, just try it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it probably will work.
And it wasn't me who said it, so.
Just another question for Katrin and Tobias. Have you ever cooperated with any other content creators? So sorry. Yeah, have you ever like invited someone into your videos, or have you like visited other content creators and like in classic YouTube fashion try to like get their audiences over to yours, or the other way around? Did some possibility ever happen for you there?
We haven't really done that yet, but there is this thing in the TikTok ad backend where you can basically, I haven't really looked into it, but I that's still on my to-do list, where you can basically
like have a duet.
share your video with the creator community, and they can use it to do stuff. But we haven't really looked into that yet. And yeah, just normal collab videos or anything like that we haven't done either, but probably a good idea as well. I mean, the only thing that we did is the Colors of Indie thing, basically, where, yeah, obviously the account got mentioned and yeah, people commented on everything. I don't think that had a huge influence on the Mooneye follower count or anything like that, but yeah, it's probably still good to just have your account or your posts mentioned everywhere, every time. Just it can't hurt.
I don't really see a lot of people doing it, not even other content creators. I know this is a thing that they did on YouTube. They don't really do that on TikTok, and I don't really know why.
Yeah,
Alex,
not
why?
in the. I mean, there is this stitching and everything that you
yes,
can do.
yeah, stitching, yeah.
But not like in presence collabs. Yeah, not sure why that isn't really a thing on TikTok.
To be honest, I don't know, but my assumption would be that it's still kind of relatively new for TikTok, and it's like still work in progress to get in to becoming a more popular feature. But that's a good question. Like to be honest, I don't know why it's not that widely used yet.
All right. We are nearing like the end of Dennis and my question documents. So I just want to throw it out once again in the chat. Like right now is the best time to write your questions. We've still got 1 or 2 open as well, but just like, yeah, keep it in mind and put your minds to good use and write some good questions to our experts. Overall, like maybe you could give us some more like best practice tips right now. Like any resources that were really useful for you when you first started out on TikTok. Like we've already heard about CapCut, which is a good app to edit your videos. But apart from that, maybe a good guide or something you saw. Anything comes to mind, Tobias?
I would probably just say what I did. I don't think I can think of any specific guide or whatever, but just try and use the platform for a couple of weeks and just use it regularly. Try and get a feel for the kind of content that is there, and just the way that you use the platform. And yeah, that will also show you what options there are for sounds and for filters and things like stitches that I mentioned earlier. A stitch is basically just like you can, for another video, when you stitch it, the video will, wait, is it stitch or is it the other thing? I think stitch is just the other video, the first couple of seconds of the other videos play, and then you can answer it basically. So a lot of times people will do videos like, what's your best game memory? I'll start, mine is blah, blah, blah. And then this becomes like a thing where a lot of people stitch this video with their answers to the question. And yeah, there are all kinds of different types of content, and the best way to learn this is probably just by using the app and just watching it for a couple of weeks and yeah, see what there is basically.
Yeah, I can also really just recommend watching a lot of TikTok videos. It's also a very nice excuse to watch TikTok all day. No, but actually looking at accounts of game developers I really like, where I think they are doing great content, and binge watch all of that and see what are they doing. Can I do something like this? I really like to scroll through my For You page, and then I send myself videos that I like, so I can reference them later when we're doing the content planning. Then I can go through all of the videos that I thought would be cool and then think, can I do something like this, something similar like this? I also follow some social media coaches that sometimes it's really like, oh, come on, don't tell me again to make a video a day. I'm not going to make a video every day. Like, no. But sometimes they have very good advice. Just take it with a grain of salt. That helped me to learn. Yeah, and also plan that you are going to take some time to learn this. I'm very happy that we started a year ago when there was nothing at stake, and it didn't really matter if it didn't work. It would be fine. If we just start 2 months before launch and then I'm shit at making content in TikTok, then the game won't have very good TikTok presence. But now I can learn for probably around 2 more years before there's a launch, and then hopefully make very good TikToks then.
Yeah, from TikTok side, to add, it's basically TikTok Help Center. I know it might sound a bit, I don't know, maybe too simple, but you would be surprised like how many valuable tips, and especially when you're new to the platform, like even some tips and tricks, how to set up your account better, or like how to start or how to edit. Basically, the overview that Helen did us, it's already like, you know, something to start with if you are new to TikTok, like to know what is what. And this is what Help Center helps, and it's available for everyone for free, no budget commitments. It's something I would really recommend to start using, even if you're already doing like first steps. It's also kind of useful to see some tips, tricks, recommendations, basic setup. So it's quite useful. And then we do have also like TikTok Insights website where you can play around with like different hashtags and see how big is the audience or what are the trends. So this is basically like what you can also see in the app, like what is trending right now, or which music is trendy, or which creators are popping up more often, or something like that. For that, we do have like a separate website. It's like tiktok.com/business/insights or something like that. But just Google TikTok Insights and you will find it. And there it's also like available for everyone for free, and it's very valuable information already, like to start with, and also for your planning, like to see where you should start or where you should focus more. Yeah, so basically from my side, I would say these two tips.
Thank you so much for sharing your tips. Just one specific question to that point again. How often do you post your videos, Katrin and Tobias? Like, is there any best practice you notice, or just like when there's time?
Yeah, for us, basically just when there's time. Whenever we think, oh, we haven't posted in a while, we really should post something.
This is the wrong answer.
Yeah, I know.
So currently we are posting once a week, which is not ideal. But
at
least
right?
but yeah, at least we do it once a week, and that's good. That is enough to keep the follower count at the level that it is in the moment. If we wouldn't post it, they would probably leave at some point. But if I wanted to grow it more, then I think I would post at least 2 or 3 times a week. And then in times where I notice, it's going really well and people are coming in, then I try to post often, more often if possible. But also, yeah, I think it's very important to not burn yourself out, and try to be mindful of how many posts you can do in a week, and that is mostly not more than 3 for me. And at the moment, it's just 1. I think it will increase, but yeah.
And when we are talking about at this moment weekly video, how much time do you need for producing it, like from idea to final video?
So last week I posted a video that took me 7 hours, and that is the longest I've ever took for a a TikTok video, and it's almost the worst video we all ever posted.
So totally overproduced.
Yeah, I knew that before. I just made it because I really liked it, and I'm fine with it not being good. Doesn't matter. But usually I would say I try to produce them in batch, so I usually don't make the one video and then next one another, but I try to do 2 or 3 at the same time, and then it takes maybe 2 or 3 hours for that. Yeah.
And we also have quite a mix of short questions also in the chat. I will fire them at you, I guess, mainly direction of Tobias and Katrin. So do you reuse videos on other platforms?
Yeah, we definitely, for ads especially, we mostly make a video on one platform and then post it on others as well. For the behind the scenes stuff and the more organic thing on TikTok, it's probably best to just have something in the moment on TikTok. But yeah, I mean, you can try out how that works. Katrin, I think, talked about trying to post TikTok posts on Instagram later and just see how it works. But yeah, I don't know how well that works for the kind of TikTok native posts.
Yeah, so for some videos it worked well, but in the end we decided it's not worth it because it took maybe half an hour for every post, and it wasn't that good. We have like 200 followers on Instagram, so it didn't really work. Maybe it would work at some point if we kept doing it, but we stopped. We post some of our videos to Twitter, especially those that are a little bit more behind the scenes game dev stuff, because that is what the Twitter audience is more about. And then sometimes we also post something on LinkedIn because we feel like as a company you need to post something on LinkedIn sometimes.
So it's it's your official duty as company to have at least one post half a year on LinkedIn. And we also had to take away today that it's a good thing that videos have like a longer time going in rotation on TikTok, but nonetheless there's a question, do you delete unsuccessful videos from your account?
No, we never do. Even if there's just 100 views on something. As I said, sometimes we still get views and comments on really old videos, and so maybe this one video that no one else saw, there's one person that's going through your profile, really likes and comments on. So yeah, I mean, if there's something that you're really embarrassed by, then okay. But I don't see the point in deleting content.
Also, from TikTok side, I wouldn't recommend deleting any content because you never know when exactly the video can be actually picked up by algo. Like there are so many signals and triggers. Who knows? Maybe this one new user or like several new users will be interested exactly in this video. They will start commenting it, and then it will start growing again. And will be back in delivery, so to speak. So I wouldn't recommend to delete anything.
Mm-hmm. Also a question regarding the existing user groups on TikTok. So the question is, does it make sense to work with TikTok when you have a user group age 40 to 60?
Is it's a question to me, I guess?
Yeah, do you have an like idea, like when you're really targeting like 40 years and up on the platform?
I would still do it because, like I said in the beginning, like TikTok's audience is very diverse, like all ages, all genders, interests. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
There is also something that you can try for the ads, at least, because you can target age groups. And if you post a video with like 50 euros ad budget for just 40 plus users, and no one sees it, okay, maybe it's not worth it. But if it's working, then maybe you can start building your audience like that. And then once you have a couple of followers through the ads that locked you into the right TikTok sub community, basically.
We also have like 2 questions that were kind of answered, but just so the commenters get total certainty that it was worth writing and watching today. First one is, you already told us you can't use links and buttons in organic videos, but you can mention that you have a Steam page, but perhaps like Katrin said, not always where they might find it. And so they asked, do you use QR codes, and are paid videos the right way to redirecting players to Steam? I'd say QR codes don't make that much sense because you don't want to phone like your phone with another phone.
Already on your phone, yeah, right.
So that doesn't work out. But yes, you can redirect players to Steam by using sponsored ads, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. And also there was a question, how good do PC games perform on TikTok, or is it only usable for mobile games? But I think we already can answer that as well. Of course, like you can bring people over to Steam, so that's no worries.
So I have the feeling that we covered all the questions out of the chat. What I have in mind is like this whole trends topic, and also we discussed that there was like this several iterations of TikToks. Katrin, you said like in the beginning you had the feeling shorter videos performed well, and now it's you said like 30-second videos also could be a thing. But do you see any kind of trends at the moment on the horizon? So it's always a good question. Like in the end of a panel, what are the trends September 2022 on TikTok?
That's hard prediction. So what I really see a lot now, and I enjoy watching, is serial content where people say, this is day one of me doing this thing. Or show, hey, look, I made this bread dough and now it's going to take 2 hours. See you later. And this catches me and I want to come back and see what happens with the bread. So I think this is something that is going to work. And I'm still thinking about how I can do it. I haven't really found a solution to that, but I will keep thinking.
Yeah, not sure what I can add to that. Maybe just there was this shift of first they allowed 3-minute videos, then 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes. So it looks like they want to push longer content, longer videos, and just keep users on specific videos for longer. And probably there'll be more ways and tools to do that in the future. But the main thing will probably stay the same for a while. Just videos that catch the attention very quickly and then show something more interesting in the end, basically. And just bright and colorful stuff that immediately shows you that's something that I want to watch to the end.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a 10-minute video on TikTok. No one does that.
Yeah. I think it's more about giving like more flexibility to keep this creativity, and you can do whatever you want. That's like the main task behind TikTok main trend, so to speak, like so that you have all the options to play around and to be really creative. And that's actually one of the reasons why TikTok is still so different.
All right, thank you so much. Before we started our panel, you all sent me some wonderful links of videos that performed really well, or videos that you liked, or just successful TikTok channels. Our wonderful third colleague, who you can't see, is handling the chat, and she is posting these links into the chat so people can follow up on our panel and like have a look at some great TikTok videos and maybe get some inspiration there. But I would like to ask you one last question on trends, and like I don't mean like forecasts, but like trending things on TikTok, just overall on and all the time you spent on the app. What was your favorite trend that you saw develop? Just to give you an example, my favorite, I hope it returns this year because I really loved it. People dressing up as ghosts in autumn and just like doing mundane stuff, like just throwing on a bed cover and some sunglasses and like roller skating or doing other fun stuff. I love that. So do you have anything similar that really impressed you?
That is definitely a good idea for an October post. We will probably do that. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure. I don't really follow the trends too closely, so I don't know what huge ones there were. Also, I tend to forget stuff very, very quickly.
I have an example. It's one of my favorite trends. I don't remember like the exact name, but it's this feta cheese pasta, those videos. And I know that in some countries it even led to like empty shelves in the supermarkets because everyone, like literally everyone was filming this feta cheese pasta videos.
I make that on a bi-weekly basis, I have to admit, like one of the best recipes I've ever found.
I also really like them.
And that's hashtag. Sorry, TikTok made me do it.
Yeah, I think I really like when dance trends come to gamer TikTok because I love it when game developers start to dance. They usually don't do it, and then sometimes they do, and then I'm like, oh, this makes my day. I have never done this, and I don't know if I ever will, but hopefully.
You should.
Yeah, they're going very well if game devs dance, and it's funny, but yeah.
I mean, like you said before, if it doesn't perform well, no one will see it.
Yeah,
so no
take my
shame
own
there.
advice, right?
All right. So I think that's a wrap. We already had a lovely comment from the audience thanking us for this panel. And so I can only agree with that. Thank you so much for joining us today. I certainly learned a lot. I think our audience did as well. And yeah, just in general, if you tuned in a bit later or so, you can watch this panel on our YouTube channel in the future again and again and again. And you will find helpful links in the chat and also in the video description later on.
Thank you for the invitation. It's very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
See you.
Bye.